So, yesterday we were in anger. Anger's good to experience. What I found though, I was being angry not necessarily at, it would be automatic, like it would be like, oh, I'm angry at that person or angry at this. And then I'd be like, no, you're angry at yourself for not having boundaries. You're angry at yourself for ignoring the red flags. You're angry at yourself. And it's good because if I'm angry at myself, well, guess how I stop being angry at myself? I learn and don't do that again. And that's why I think what comes up for me is, look, during healing processes or during processes where you're trying to make a big difference, you want to keep as clean as possible. By the way, apple cider vinegar, if you remember, it's the thing that cured my back. Very nice. It helps the acidity. It helps the acidity. So if your body is in producing too many ketones or your acidity is off, anyway, don't take this information and go, oh, I'm going to use that, because what people do is we cherry pick tiny pieces of information and then we use that. Get the book. Get the book. That will take your mindset from unhealthy to healthy, and it's a slow journey, okay? So anyway, this is what I'm doing now. Woo. It's like a shot of coffee. So, angry at myself, and that's nice. I also went to do a yin yoga. Yin yoga, I don't know if I've spoken to you about it before, but yin yoga is just beautiful. Some people call it yoga nidra, but basically all it is deep stretches where you stretch and you hold that stretch for 3 to 4 minutes, okay? It's also rooted in Chinese medicine. It's rooted in releasing muscles. The idea of it is we can stretch for a minute and that's never going to release necessarily the full deep muscle. But if we allow gravity to stretch out the muscle and we allow it to sit in it, it ends up stretching and releasing things that were there from years ago. Anyway, it really calmed me down, which is nice. By the way, this is where the rig is at right now. Peeling out, nice. I have to now wear this at the gym and it gets a lot of attention. So it's like, it's good and bad, but really bad because I'm locked in and I kind of don't want any attention at the moment. So I'm angry at myself. I'm angry at myself for not having boundaries. And what I'm learning is, not what I'm learning. Well, it is what I'm learning. What I'm seeing, and look, the person itself, based on her trauma, does a lot of manipulation tactics, but I can blame it on her, or I can say, well, not really. Like I saw it and I didn't trust myself or believe in myself. Because I didn't trust myself or believe in myself, there was stuff for me to heal so I can be really concrete about what is so and what isn't so. And you've been experiencing that journey. I just can't get that right. I'm not going to sit there. I'm going to sit on the couch. So anger at myself is nice. It's like, because anger as an emotion at myself is causing me to make a change. It's actually causing me to like, okay, well, I'm angry at myself, sit in that pain, and I obviously don't want to feel angry, so therefore I do something about it. So it's important during your healing process to stay as sober as possible, as sort of the same as possible, so you can experience every emotion as it comes up. So you'll be stable, and then you'll be like, I'm a bit anxious, or what is this? Or I thought I was anxious, I thought I was sad, I thought I was this, and then I was like, oh no, I was angry. Cool. Who am I angry at? Her. No, I'm angry at myself. Cool. I can deal with that. And there's learnings to happen from that. So in the scheme of things, that's kind of where we're at. It's interesting that as my rig peels out, every person has their own opinion, and suddenly everyone wants to come up to you, everyone wants to talk to you, and they're not only talking to you, it's not like they're asking how you're doing it, they're like, oh yeah, that's great, and then they start telling me what they've done or how they do it. and clearly they don't have a physique to show for it. It's interesting that we as human beings, I included, what we do a lot of the time is we go up to a person and we go, oh, you're amazing, you're amazing. And then what we do is we try and say, have a look, we're the same. And here's what we do in disguise, saying, hey, I'm trying to help you. But really they're trying to validate themselves. And that's the topic of today, validation. It was on my mind on the treadmill, validation, validation, validation. We all know where it comes from, the ex, but I'm not allowed to talk about her. But validation. Validation for majority of all human beings is we look externally for validation. If you're on social media, you're looking for validation there. And they're just numbers behind a screen, right? So, live example, the ex says morally that she believes in the sacredness of sex and attraction. Hang on, what is this? My nipple's coming out. I'm just going to hold this. But has procured an audience of really kind of people that like underage girls, and she keeps selling underage girl stuff, if that makes sense. So she has an audience which is really the most trauma-sick human beings on the planet, sort of thing. Knowing that it's morally against it, can't do anything about it. Well, can do something about it, but, you know, trauma runs deep. And then gets validation from there to keep going. Now, that creates a disassociated place to even sort of be in your mind about. You begin to be a person that can't face what's actually going on. So then you disassociate and you're like, that's fine. I'll just spend money. I'll just do lots of cardio. I'll eat laxatives. I'll do narcotics. I'll do this. I'll do that. Right. We run. So a lot of the times we are actually searching firstly from validation from the wrong people, right? So we go and search. So let's say you're not ready to heal your trauma. Let's say you're not ready to have the conversation which is that you need to have, which is, they're so easy to have. You just need the courage to have them. Okay. But let's say you're not ready. At least go and try get validation from people that you aspire to be. Because if they validate you, then that's great. Right? So I used to definitely use that. I think over time, validation is something that is a hard process and a journey to get through. Most people never jump out of it. But if you are, so I would always put myself in a room where everyone was better than me. So I'd want the better people to validate me. And that means that, but I choose the rooms, right? She's not choosing the trash of society. She's just like, they're the only people that validate me, so validate me, right? She's not choosing them. She doesn't want them. I go, you can actually engineer it. You can be like, let's say I want to be, I don't know, a professional jiu-jitsu fighter. Cool. Let's go find the best jiu-jitsu school around. Let's go find the top people. Let's try and be friends with them and then aim to seek their validation. But see, the difference is you said, I want to do jiu-jitsu. Not I want validation, who's going to give it to me. I want to do jiu-jitsu. Cool. I'm going to design my circle around people that I want to validate myself into that circle. And that stems into show me your 5 friends and I'll tell you who you are, because 99.99999% will try and validate those friends. We'll try and validate for those friends. That's why it works. So I can have friends which I never seek validation from, and then I can actually stay separate to their influence as best as humanly possible. Obviously, every time they speak and a sound wave goes into my brain, I still experience effects. It's, you know, the amount of single friends that I have that have perfect relationship advice for me, you know, like sit down, like genuinely sit down, shush. Like go inwards, get angry at yourself that you're still single and don't know the answers instead of telling me that you know the answers. So validation, if you're not ready to validate yourself,
If you're not ready to have the conversations that you need to have that have fucked you up, everyone's a bit fucked up. Even you, even me, you gotta have those conversations. They're just conversations. Like, don't get too in your head about it. Like, you know what that gut feeling is, that who you're desperately, like, who basically didn't validate you in your childhood, and that locks you into now permanent validation as an adult. If you're not ready, find people that you want to be validated by. Then you'll have the result. You're still going to be sad, by the way. You'll get the result and you're going to be like, this was meant to make me happy. It's not. You're still going to be sad. It's still going to be shit. And it might even cause worse problems, because then you'll be like, now I have this and I have no answers. But maybe then you'll be like, okay, the only way is to confront my trauma. But then you've wasted 10 years of your life. And if you're doing things like my ex, like, you could have already caused yourself brain damage. You may be already dead and in a grave, or you've done irreversible damage to your reputation and just you as a person spiritually. Like, you could be just, that's it, your life's over. So don't do that. Ideally, face the validation yourself now. But what you need to do, validation-wise, is, and I think I'm working on this live as well. So I'm not separate to my ex, I'm not separate to you as well. I think my entire life there was an element of, I wanted to be validated by people, or not necessarily by people. I wanted to perform for people. I wanted to be validated a lot by my parents. By my parents, there was a large validation there. They're very intellectual people. They did their absolute humanly best to bring us up. But I was brought up like a dog on a leash, like, they turned me into a monster. Not a monster, but they built character through a lot of hard stuff, man. Through a lot of hard stuff. I still remember being the fattest kid in school, and my mum would say every day you need to work out, because she's an athlete. So she'd be like, you're going to work out today. And she would sit there on the couch. She'd have a full exercise plan. And I'd be like crying, and she'd be like, keep going. And she'd be falling asleep because she had so much to do. She'd be falling asleep, but keep going. And like, literally, like, I just had to, like, she brought me up like an animal. It's done well. But because of that, I ended up seeking a lot of validation. And I had that conversation, if you've been here, like a couple of months ago, and really released that. And I spoke about it a couple of days ago. So I released all that validation that I needed from my family and got the approval that I can just do my life however I want to do it. Because I've always known I wanted to sing. I always knew I wanted to get to a stadium. I knew that I wanted to impact the world. But I was like tiptoeing around things. Like, no matter what I had, I was always thinking like, will they approve? And it's not like a live thinking. It's like deep in your subconscious. If you're live thinking, I wonder if my parents will approve, you're going to be pretty aware to it and you're going to deal with it. It's like really underneath you. So validation is what we do everything for. And that can be kind of like confronting, because your whole life then looks like a validation. Everything from how you do your hair, from how you wear your clothes, from everything is for validation. So you're not really living life. You're waiting for a person to say, I approve of you, I like you. That's it. Your whole life, your entire existence is searching for somebody to say, I like you. I approve of you. I hear you. I understand you. Your entire existence up until you're dead. Get that. Get that, because when you live inside of that, and that's everything that drives you, you're never going to design a life that you love. I always say, be the divine architect of your own reality. You ain't the divine shit. If you are permanently asking, do you like me? Do you understand me? Do you hear me? That is, well, it's a shit existence, because you're not driven by you designing or choosing your life. You're a victim to validation. Validate me, validate me. Oh my God. Oh my God. 99% of social media is that as well. 99.9999999% of social media is that. Validate me. Oh my God. Here's my photo. Oh my God. Do I look like a bad air? What? Why would you need validation? Like, human beings externally don't know the core of you. They can't know the whole core of you. They just can't. They haven't lived your shoes. They haven't, even twins. One twin saw life from this angle, one from this side. That's even conjoined twins, right? Two always separate experiences. They can't know you. So why are you searching for validation from people that don't know you? You want to validate yourself. What are you proud of? What are you not happy with for you? What do you want out of life? You want to be on the pursuit of validating yourself. I mean, or you can just say, hey, I validate myself with all my perfections and imperfections and things I'm going for, but you've got to love you. And I'm saying this because I'm learning to love me. So I'm not separate from it. I'm not separate from it. I thought I loved myself. Now I'm on like a next journey of love myself, and I think it can go even deeper. But that's all. You know, I don't know where this is going, but the validation thing is pretty big, and society is like that. Society, everybody that I've almost ever met is like that. And people always go to me like, oh, you're so different. You're so like, you've vibrated at a different place. Like I have really a profound, I guess, energy. And that's not me tooting my own horn. It's taken me a while to even accept that. I was like, no. I'm just a normal guy. I'm not normal. And I've been trying to understand, where does that come from? And I think something that really underpins it is I don't need your validation. Though I did in the start when I filmed the YouTube videos, right? I needed it because I was like, oh, what if they're shit? But even then, what if they're shit for me? So what I did is I redefined what meant shit or not shit. Was it meant that it performed, or was it meant that the purpose was correct, or was I just going to be completely honest and me? And when I said for me, validation will be that I'm making videos that I would want to watch, that I actually want to leave an impact. I don't want them to be about me, look at my muscles, oh my God, I'm awesome, just like, subscribe and comment and be an awesome human. I wanted to make a difference to humans. And in order to make a difference to humans, I was prepared to show all my downfalls, all my weaknesses, all my hardships, in order for no matter where you are, to be like, oh, he's having it harder than me. I'm having it less hard than him. I can do this. I can do this too. And then share the mental models along the way. I am tired. Really tired. So, along the validation, I don't need anybody else's validation, but I am beginning to procure. I'm starting to brainwash myself. So, on purpose, I'm starting to brainwash myself in the things that I want. So, I'm beginning to pick up lessons off the top vocalists, not actual lessons, but basically beginning to listen to the top vocalists of our generation and previous generations, and just beginning to absorb that type of content. So I don't watch any content, but now I'm going to actively watch a bit more of that content, and only the best, because I know that my mind is still, like every mind, is going to still be a little hijacked to validation, but it's more like it'll become a norm. Like if I'm surrounded by the top vocalists all the time in my space, in my head, through books, through videos, it's like, well, naturally I'm going to begin to think like them. Naturally I'm going to begin to sing like them. Naturally I'm going to breathe like them. And that's what I'm designing behind the scenes. So that's been exciting. And the more I watch, the more I'm like, yes. And it's like, oh, I already have that thing. I was already right there. Cool. I am on the right path there. Oh, that's the wrong path. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. And it's fascinating to me. And not much is fascinating to me. Fascinating. Like, this is so my purpose. In fact, I was watching Christina Aguilera, and she was talking about one of her vocal things and how she relates to singing. And it made me tear up. It's how I felt about voice. So it was like, I'm in the right place. Yes. So that's where we're at. Guys, I hope you're well. Thank you for being here. I hope your year's going well. And validation. Seek to validate yourself. You're the only person that matters for you. Love yourself. I'm on the love yourself journey. Love yourself too. Peace.